I'm Martin Gassner from SinnerSchrader, and we are now here in our Prague studio. Yeah, hello. About me, I was, before I was coming to SinnerSchrader, I'm already in the business of this digital services ecosystem strategies now for, well, I would say 25 years. My personal background is that I studied fine arts and worked as artist a couple of times. And then I switched to more applied design and arts. That was coming with the first web browser and public internet, and I was so addicted to it that I thought that will be the future, and I go into this area. And when I was working in this thing, I also founded a small agency, I think it was in the 90s, which already built digital services and platforms and things like that. And so over time I changed into a bigger agency and did almost the same role as I do now at SinnerSchrader before in other agencies. Well, I would say the special thing at SinnerSchrader is, and it's an agency which is working now in the digital space for, I think, also 22, 23 years now, which was founded really in also in the beginning of the digital age, I would say, in a small area, in a small gap, where they cared about human-centered products and services with a focus on transactional services. So it was not just digital marketing that a lot of others have done in that time, use it as another channel for communication. No, we really build applications and platforms that really create value for the user and make things possible that weren't possible before. So we built kind of a first eBay in Germany, or we built a first with Libre.de, which was kind of Amazon was the first big online bookstore and all these things, or we built the first direct bank in Germany. So we're all more service-oriented things and new products and services in that time. The difference from SinnerSchrader to other agencies today is, I think, we have on one thing is we really do the things end to end, from a first research and strategy over the whole product design, the product development, the front-end engineering, and even the implementation. So it's the responsibility for the products and services really from earliest beginning up to the implementation. And for that we are partners of our clients, we grow with our clients in this fast-changing world, and we really try to overtake the responsibility really for the whole value chain, I would say. But it's one thing. The other thing is, well, we have an engineering background. Almost half of colleagues at SinnerSchrader are engineers. And we are also a big chunk of product designers, and we're working very close together in cross-functional teams. So we are all mixed up: engineers, designers, strategists, product and client managers, and with understanding of our disciplines and working together as small cross-functional agile teams. I think that is really, well, it's not something new, but I think you don't find so many agencies who do that in this consequence. Mm-hmm. Well, we have a couple of automotive clients. So we are a digital lead agency for the brand Audi. We are in the same role for a brand Volkswagen. We do also some digital projects for BMW, so it's a couple of automotive clients. When we have also some clients from financial services or insurances, and so most of our clients are big blue chips, stock listed clients, big corporations. And what we try and we also achieve to get in a situation as a strategical partner of our clients. So we have relations that are really long last. So it's not just a project when you're gone. No. We try to help them to to be successful in the digital age and develop with them the roadmap and the digital strategy and a couple of services in a growing ecosystem. And as long as we can, as we are doing that end to end, we get broader in this sense, also in this big companies. I guess it gets more and more successful and impactful. Yeah. Well, the corporate culture, I think, grows with the people. So the people first, this is a very important thing at SinnerSchrader. We are nobody with our people. So we try to get the best people. It's not only the best skilled people, it's also we take a lot of attention on the character of people. We make interviews. Do they fit into the team? Do they share our common beliefs? Are they engaged? Are they funny? There's a lot of different things which we take into account when we have interviews with people, because the people are doing the culture, and we can just support it. We have, for example, something which is called the SinnerSchrader Pulses. It's kind of 7 value sentences that we think if we keep them in mind and live them, collaboration with complex teams and with complex projects is possible and successful and makes fun. And it's kind of a, how do you say in English, a corrective that helps us to identify early when something went wrong in the culture. And I think openness and to be honest and all that things is a very important thing at SinnerSchrader. And also that the people are trying to do new things, to discover new paths, do it in a new way. And I think it's also part of our culture that we are working with cross-functional, with different characters and types and individuals together. Everybody has his strengths, and we look on the strengths, and then something can happen. Another thing is also that we have, I think, and I guess, quite a good culture of making errors or mistakes, because you only learn when you make mistakes, and this kind of safe space that we want to provide to the people allows them to grow, to make mistakes, fails, learn from it, and this is a very important ingredient when you want to innovate, for example. Yeah. Well, to create good strategies, you have to start from the user first. That's because only when it gets really relevant and important and creates value for the user, a strategy or products and services which are product of a strategy will be successful. And for that, I think you really need a good understanding of the industry where you're working in, but also a lot of research to understand what the people cares about, what's important for them, where are their needs, where are barriers, and you have also get a good understanding of what are the assets, the means, the possibilities of a company, and bring all that together to see, well, what is the goal we want to achieve and how we can achieve that based on all that data that we gather together, and create concept out of it and test it early. You can build up a strategy that leads to a successful goal. And even the strategy sometimes has to be modified because the things are changing so fast. So I think sometimes it's difficult to say, now we have a strategy to achieve something in 10 years, but after 2 years the world is completely different. So you have also to observe it all the time, to have the ability to adjust strategies, and because new technologies are upcoming, new expectations from users are upcoming. So there are a lot of ingredients that helps you to create a strategy. I think we're at the moment already on the road for our strategy for the next couple of years. Maybe you know, 2 years ago we were acquired by a very large company, by Accenture. with a task to build up Accenture Interactive in ASGR, well, German and speaking area. And that means we are growing and have more capabilities than ever before. So we can fulfill the whole value chain from a first trigger you give to a user to up to invention of new products and implementing them. And based on the shoulders of this big company Accenture, we are able now to provide that on a worldwide scale. And that is a strategic move we did 2 years ago, because we have seen that the whole field of digitalization, of digital transformation gets so important and important key for most of the companies, that we have decided to do that move to get the power and also the size and all the capabilities you need really to help international clients or clients who act on a global scale to implement that, to think that, to develop all that things. And this is something very in between at the moment in this transformation that we are, that also Accenture is, and also all our clients, and we get much more powerful with that move, I would say. Mm-hmm. And implementation is just the daily work and remembering and adjusting the strategy, finding the right people and do it in an efficient and innovative way. And for that we are growing. We have built up more studios, and our studios will come. And I think we have good methods and a lot of experience to do that. And we are very passionate about doing that. So. I think all the service-oriented things will grow, because from a product-centric thinking we go more to a service-dominated thinking, or product-dominated to a service-dominated. Well, a product is a service, or service is a product. And when you look into industries, I think it will happen. There will be growth in every industry. It depends more on how fast the industries are willing to change. And you see it especially in the financial industry, that they are a lot under pressure because the digital pure players are going in this way. Just Apple released yesterday the Apple card that has a lot of features where I think some traditional financial industries are still dreaming from. And we have the same pressure in every industry at the moment. You have it in the automotive industry, with a change from a product to more a mobility service, and with a change in the whole technology, and new players are coming into the game. So I would say growth will happen when it comes to digital transformation in every of these industries. Some countries are growing faster. You see an enormous growth of all these things in China, for example, where they are really on high speed in this whole transformation thing. Europe is a little bit more slow, but they also have to speed up to keep the pace. How to build a great team? That is also a challenge. I think a great team, that is a part of how good is the culture and how you behave yourself, how good you are as a role model for your teams, but it also needs a lot of empathy and understanding of the different players in the team, choosing the right people, give everybody the room really to develop and to contribute to the projects, live and develop a culture of collaboration and openness. Not being an asshole helps a lot for great teams, not only for team leaders, also for team members. And I think you have to keep the fun on what you are doing all together, but that could help to build up great teams. You have to be clear, you have to define clear goals and give everybody a good understanding where we are going, what's the big goal, what we want to achieve, but also to respect the strengths and the individual situations of everybody in the team. So I think these are a lot of ingredients you need to build great teams. I think a lot of things in nature, or most of the things in nature, are really great design. Look on an egg, it's really a perfect design. It also didn't have changed for a long time. But I still think whereas every design could maybe done a little bit better, but often perfect design really reduces to the max, I would say, whereas everything what's in is here and has a task, makes sense. Well, best design is when it works as best as you can imagine. That is what good, I think, that is good design. It really shows that somebody or teams have thought through really what was the problem, what's the real problem, how we can resolve it in the best way, that it works, that it creates value for the user and makes it easy and fun and everybody understands it. So that is, I think that is good design. So I cannot say this special design is the best one of the world. I can just say what I think what good design is. Empathy is a very good tool to understand the user, to understand your teammates, understand your client, to be able to get into his shoes and take different perspectives, really to identify what is the situation, what is really happening. I think communication, to communicate often and clearly and open, that is very, very important. And I think it's also very important to be a nice guy and respect for people, but also to say clear when something is going completely wrong and fucked up, but in a friendly way, that that nobody loses his face.